Welcome to the SportsFan1100 News. I am your host, the SportsFan1100. This is episode number 8 of the SportsFan1100 News. Cue the intro. First topic and only topic on today's episode of Sports100 News is a typhoon that happened in the Philippines recently. Bloated bodies lay uncollected and uncounted in the streets, and desperate survivors pleaded for food, water, and medicine as rescue workers took on daunting tasks in the typhoon-battered islands of the Philippines. At least 10,000 are feared dead. The hard-hit city of Tacloban resembles a garbage dump from the air, with only a few concrete buildings left standing in the wake of one of the most powerful storms to ever hit land, packing 236-kilometer winds and whipping up a 6-meter walls of seawater that tossed ships inland and swept many out to sea. "Help, SOS, we need food," read a message painted by a survivor in large letters on the ravaged city's port, where water lapped at the edge. There was no one to carry away the dead, who lay rotting along the mountain road from the airport to Tacloban, the worst-hit city along the country's remote eastern seaboard. At a small naval base, 8 swollen corpses, including that of a baby, were submerged in water brought by the storm. Officers are yet to move them, saying that there are no body bags or electricity to preserve them. Authorities say at least 9.7 million people in 41 provinces have been affected by a typhoon known as Haiyan elsewhere in Asia, but called Yolanda in the Philippines. It is likely the deadliest natural disaster to beset this poor Southeast Asian nation. "Please tell me, family, I'm alive," said Erica May Caracat as she stood among a throng of people waiting for aid. "We need water and medicine because a lot of people we are with are wounded. Some are suffering from diarrhea and dehydration due to shortage of food and water. Philippine soldiers are distributing food and water, and assessment teams from the UN and other international agencies have seen on Monday for the first time." The U.S. military dispatches food, water, and generators at a contingent of Marines to the city. The first outside help in what will swell into a major international relief mission. Authorities say they have evacuated some 800,000 people ahead of the typhoon, but many evacuation centers proved to be no protection against the wind and rising water. Emily Ortega, age 21 and about to give birth, said she clung to the post to survive after the evacuation center she fled was devastated by the 6-meter storm surge. She reached safety at the airport, where she gave birth to the baby girl, B. Joy Segales, whose arrival drew applause from the military medics who assisted in the delivery. The wind, rain, coastal storms and surges transformed neighborhoods into twisted piles of debris, blocking roads and trapping decomposing bodies underneath. Cars, trucks lay upended among flattened homes, and bridges and ports were washed away. In some cases, the devastation was been told, said Secretary to Cabinet Rene Almendarez. In Tacloban, residents stripped malls, shops, and homes of food, water, and consumer goods. Officials say some of the looting smacked of desperation, but in other cases, people hauled away TVs, fridges, Christmas trees, and even a treadmill. Brig Gen Kennedy said Philippines forces were handling security well, and U.S. troops were looking at how to open up roads and land planes and helicopters in order to bring in shelter, water, and other supplies. Still, those caught in the storm were worried aid will not arrive soon enough. "We're afraid that it's going to get dangerous in town because relief goods are trickling in very slow," said Bobby Womack, an American missionary. Marvin Daga, a 19-year-old student, tried to ride out the storm in his home with his ailing father Mario, but the storm surge carried the building away. They clung to each other while the house floated for a while, but it eventually crumbled and they fell into churning waters. The teen grabbed a coconut tree with one hand with his father in the other, and he slipped out of his grasp. I hope that he survived, Marvin said, but I'm not expecting to find him anymore. Philippine President Benigno Aquino III declared a state of national calamity, allowing the central government to release emergency funds quicker and impose price controls on staple goods. I am the Sports100 and peace out. Next time for another edition of the Sports100 News. Thanks for watching.